Hello and welcome to the People's Champ podcast, the only podcast on the internet where we are obsessed with the tier 2 minion that goes boom. How's it going, Jordan?
I'm good. I'm chilling.
Yeah? What have you been up to lately?
Whole lot of Minecraft today.
Really? Because there wasn't there
Yeah,
some sort of update?
another update came out today. Me and Sean played from like 1 to 6.
Nice.
Kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I have friends that want to play more tonight when they're done with like working and stuff, I think.
Gotcha. So not much Hearthstone lately then?
Not today.
Yeah.
I'm almost 9K. I think I'm like 89.50 right now.
Nice.
In Battleground.
I've been following on
I wish-
Battlegrounds. I think I'm
I
down to
wish you
like
could
6,600.
I wish you could display that where like your ranked thing goes. I know that's been suggested a
Yeah.
fair times, but I would much rather have it say 89.50 in Battlegrounds rather than
Rather than
rank 10 of whatever random or chicken
rather than chicken rank.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't played much Hearthstone lately. I have been super busy with my internship. I just played through the solo content yesterday on stream. So that's how far behind I am. I like played a couple games of WoW today with people playing one man at Twin Slice and not Demon Hunter. That was pretty weird. I haven't played any Battlegrounds since the patch. Everything's new and different.
I mean, it's all the same at the end of the day, just some fresh new things. It's a smaller update.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this balance patch. So we had some Battlegrounds changes. So to start off, we had Jiraxis, his hero power, changed from 2 gold to 1 gold. Still says give your demons +1 on 1. What do you think about this one?
It's a lot better.
Yeah.
It's 100% better, right? Cut the cost in half.
Right. Makes
But
Jiraxis actually playable, maybe, but
makes turn 4 if you buy a demon. It just like it's the difference between 1 and 2 is so like big in Hearthstone, just for the reason that you're cutting it in half. It's like twice as effective, but also in
right.
Battlegrounds, it's a big deal because rolling on your 10th money wastes a gold because it refreshes anyway if you have to freeze.
Yeah.
So using your last money to buff 3 or more things is like way better, especially early game. It like can allow you to say. And honestly, demons are good enough right now that you can just ride it out, get some jugglers or Melganis' good big demons going. I mean, it's pretty solid. So this hero's went from like the bottom to pretty high up there.
Yeah, I don't know how big demons holds up against like big Murlocs,
When I say
big
big
dragons.
demons, I don't mean like Wrath Reaver floating watch. I just mean like your 8 Mama, your Void Lords, and your Melganises are just larger than they should be.
Sure.
But also, you got to keep in mind with the new patch, right? Murlocs aren't in every game.
Yeah, that's fair.
So the games where Murlocs aren't in, you're free reign. Demons just win.
Even against like dragons, I think dragons probably beats.
Dragons can't get big enough fast enough. Everybody just dies because demons do too much damage early.
It's true.
I had a game where I like was killing it as demons unhooked us, and I like started buying things to transition, and then I was like hesitating it because I felt like I was so into demons, and then I just realized that I was just killing everybody, and so I just kept going into demons, and eventually, I like the last 2 people I killed were both going big dragons, but they just weren't big enough yet.
Yeah.
It's like one of those games where you see like YouTube where that similar situation happens, but the YouTuber like ties and then they can't keep out scaling the dragons and they lose. I just got there fast enough that everyone was dying.
Gotcha.
It was a very exciting game.
Yeah, I mean, Jiraxis used to be very fun and enjoyable to play.
Yeah, way back when it came out, it was
right.
Like, sort of computable. Never great or good, but it was.
I will say
an interesting experience that you no longer had when it was a 2-man in the current metagame.
Right. I will say that I like how they're approaching Battlegrounds to where like heroes that are bad get good for a while and then they go back to being bad or stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like,
well, they're trying to get all heroes to that like 4.5 mark where they can win.
Sure.
Some of the time.
Right. But so that they're not oppressive.
And this one's hard to change. I mean, you by just changing it 1 gold, you brought him from the worst hero in the game to like the 5th best. But the 5th best is fine. That's
Right.
not oppressive. You have 4 better heroes.
Right.
So I mean, it's a great change.
Agreed. That's
You theoretically bring everything to the 5th. Obviously, one can only be the 5th, but
right.
that's balance. Everything's around what is currently the 5th. We're
Yeah.
happy to pick it, but there's better options and worse options that are also good that you get to choose. Not say, oh well, guess I'm picking this one and getting first. It's I could get first with all of these if I play well and pick a fun hero.
Yeah.
So I like this change. It's pretty fun. You still got to hit demons if you're trying to like go like the old Tyrion style.
Sure.
I don't know. I had one game where I played him where I was like, didn't see a demon on turn 1, so I bought the Wrath Reaver. I was like, you know what, dude, whatever. I'm gonna try it. My next like roll was 3 Wrath Reavers, and I said, well, guess I'm doing this.
Despicable.
I bought the triple, and then didn't see a demon for like 4 rounds, and
Ooh.
I don't know, got 5th, but everybody died in the round I got 5th, so I technically like got 3rd. So I got plus MMR even though I got 5th, which was right, about like plus 16. But if I would have hit demons, he would have been insane because I like started hitting them, but I was like, I lost too much life early from the Wrath Reaver that
Yeah.
if I ever lost a fight, whereas ideally I wouldn't have had the Wrath Reaver, I'd have just been buffing and buying and leveling and I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, even if you don't go demons, it can help early game to like
Right. If you buy a 2/4,
not roll.
if you buy a
and
2/4 on this, then
2/4 on 1, level on 4, something hero power plus roll on 5. I mean, it's just pretty solid.
yeah, and then you can transition
Not
into
bad.
something like pirates or murlocs or
Plus,
whatever.
you got the buff attack one. The buff attack one's actually quite good because you can keep it around with your like juggler build, and you hit barons. So like your spawn is off that you just happen to have, and your random like now 8/4 like 1-drop demon that buffs 2 things for 8.
Mm-hmm.
It dies. You get 2 juggles with your golden soul juggler that which like got you the baron. You go pew pew, and then the attack goes pew pew, and then they attack your second imprisoner, and that now has 11 attack because it just got 8, and then it dies, and then it goes pew pew, and then your 1/1 attacks and goes pew pew, and then they die, and then you win the game.
Pew pew equals good.
Pew pew is good. If you buy a card that can go pew pew, you probably win.
Yeah.
As long as you have cards that make the cards go pew pew.
All right. So now we're gonna go on to Reno, who's going to make us rich by being 1 gold cheaper. Thoughts?
Again. 4 gold to 3 gold, now with 2 gold. I mean, it'll help a little bit because there were turns in the past where you'd hit the 5-drop you're trying to triple, like the Lightfang or the Baron, but you didn't have the gold.
Sure.
That turn, and then like you lost more life, and then it's like kind of late. You often don't hit, you die with a golden thing on the board.
Right.
Now, if you do hit, have decent RNG with your minions to that point, it'll help that turn. But the turn you're goldening it, like the turns before, are always going to be more important than the turn you're making a golden minion.
Yeah.
Because if you save a money, or if you look at the past, you save 2 money. But if you're goldening a Lightfang, right, and you've got 3 beasts on your board and a neutral card, it's like, all right, I have 2 extra gold. Can't do anything with it. My board doesn't work with this card, right? So it helps, obviously. I mean, he'll be better.
So here's my thoughts on it. So the hero powers that say once per game on them functionally work different than all the other hero powers, right? Because, I mean, so making it 1 cheaper is fine, particularly because you can only do this once per game. So it's in the long run, this is so much worse than the last buff that we talked about because that one's one.
Yeah, you're not saving 1 gold every time.
Right.
Game.
Yeah. So you're saving 1 a game instead of 1 a turn, like for 12 turns or something like that. You know what I mean?
Right. So it'll help your pop off turn theoretically, which is good. I mean, money is good.
Right.
But
all in all, it's a change. It might make Reno better.
To hit the card, yeah,
for sure.
After the week or so that it's been out, he is still sitting tier 4, although he's at the top of tier 4 now.
All right.
As opposed to the bottom. He's past AFK in the tier 4 standing.
Rip AFK, the fall from grace.
Well, yeah.
All right, let's move on. Then we got Maleficent's change. So it moved from +2 attack to +1 and 1. I would say this is a very positive change.
It's a very impactful buff.
Yes. Because health
It's
is so good in Battlegrounds.
I mean, it's very similar to the Drax's change. It's obviously harder to put into words, but this was her old hero power, and she was nerfed because she was too good.
Yeah.
So you got to imagine now she's going to go back to being quite good, and she's gone up to tier 2, falling under the Edwins between like Edwin and Pyramid. So I mean, those are both heroes you'd pick and be happy with and could get first with.
Right.
This character has now allows you to do that. It'll never be with this hero power as good as some of the current ones we have because you do have to hit the mech.
Sure.
And right now she does have a low pick rate, so that might be why people don't find that too fun. I don't know.
So my thing with that is,
It's
so we talked about this and Jiraxis both having where it was like this, and then it got nerfed, and then it got brought back to this. And I think the rationale behind that was
Draxus.
in the beginning.
Was Draxus 1 originally?
Maybe not.
I don't think it was ever 1. The game was just worse back then. Like things weren't as strong.
Sure, and I think that's
That's
where I was.
a lot because
That's
it was
where
too
I was
good
going.
back then. Now they've put in more stronger heroes, so it's more in line. They put it back. They've done it with Toki a couple times now.
Right.
Toki's been nerfed and unnerfed like 4 times. It feels like.
That's where I was going with that. Is basically that the game has power creeped itself already so much that now this year
slightly anyway.
and so that now that this hero power that
Also,
used to be
Max
busted
just
is
aren't
not
as
great.
impressive as they used to be too.
Yeah, with Cobalt Guardian
Max
being
used
gone.
to be impressive back in the day.
Yeah, Cobalt Guardian was
There's more
impressive.
options now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cobalt's gone. I like this change a lot. It's another character that's not broken, but it's good that I can play for a different experience.
Yeah. Battlegrounds is a game of variety, which is nice.
Dude, could you imagine how bad Battlegrounds would be if it came out like 2 years ago and Blizzard still only nerfed like every 4 months?
Oh
They
God.
change stuff every 4 months.
This
It's like, hey, new Battlegrounds expansion. It just throws a bunch of stuff. You 2 weeks it's stale, and then like the new philosophy of changing where they like nerf and tweak little things here and there is so much better, especially for a mode like this.
Yeah, and because
this character would have been
changing the meta is the best way to keep people interested in your game. Because
these little things, it's like, oh, I want to get on and play Draxus. You play 4 games, it's not Draxus, but you're playing and you're having fun. You just needed a little bit of reason to get back on.
Yeah.
And if you're lucky, you play the character, you have fun, you play more. I mean, it's great. You do little things here and there, and people keep playing.
I mean, last year. So last year we had so many changes that like literally there was a different wild meta every month because of just little changes here and there. And that's the sort of thing that I think made wild start to grow in the first place. And now obviously with everyone being locked down, everyone has so much time. So everyone that was, on the fence about it is like, I'll try it. So I think they're doing themselves good by having this many balance changes.
Oh yeah, especially for Battlegrounds. It's perfect.
Yeah. All right, moving on. We got some minion changes. So Hyena is changing from tier 2 to tier 1, so you can get it earlier. Hyena. Would you buy this on 1 normally? I feel like it's just, it's a vanilla 2-2 on 1.
It's a vanilla 2-2 on 1.
Which is fine.
But I'm going to have, I wouldn't buy it over a Murloc token.
Sure.
Or a 2-3 Murloc.
Right.
The problem is on like, I haven't done the math, but I'd wager like 90% of the heroes. You buy a minion on 1, you sell it on, or buy a minion on 3 gold, you sell it on 5 gold turn.
Maybe.
So like, the majority of heroes, that's what you do. You buy it,
sure.
You level up, and then you sell it to buy two drops.
Right.
Because they don't really have a way to like squeeze in the hero power, and then the other like 10 to 15% have more unique things you can do, whether it be digging for a golden minion or doing whatever the heck Hook Dust does, doing broken things, my ending, a hero power, Pyramid gives health. The majority of them, you're playing patches every game. You're buying 1-on-1, selling it, buying 2 drops on 5. It's like there's really no other way that works.
All right. Yeah.
The Alex Straza, same thing. I mean,
it's kind of an interesting change. Hyena used to be good at one point, or at least it used to be.
He did used to be good at 2, yeah, back in the day. There was some time, and he's still okay, but you just need a lot of support. It makes more sense as a one drop.
And I think beasts have just fallen off
It's
hard.
such a nice buff. It's weird. It's like can't really change the card because it's in the normal game. So what do we do? Oh, let's just make it cheaper. You're like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Genius. I mean, it's quite good. I don't know like what the nuts with it is.
I
Most of the
mean,
time, you're probably still gonna
theoretically.
get it when 2 drops are available to you.
So here's my thoughts
It'll be
on
easier to triple.
Yeah,
That's
it will
probably
be.
the biggest thing because it's a one drop now. There's more in the pool. Easier
So
to find.
here's maybe what I think is probably the nuts turn with it. Now that it's tier 1, you with either Hook Tusk or Malagos, you buy an Alley Cat and you turn the not.
Turn one into this.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, hey,
So that's the nuts, right?
make Hook Tusk better.
Yeah, make Hook Tusk and Malagos better. Two pretty good heroes.
Malagos just what? It changes it on the board. Hook Tusk like puts it in your hand. What? Why is that?
Yeah, Hook Tusk is just Malagos but better in most situations.
Oh my goodness.
Although Malagos is
all but the 2/4.
Malagos is the same mana cost, and Hook Tusk is a mana cost
Although
lower.
Malagos you can also change on the board. I don't know if that's like ever better, but you can't change on the board, like in the tavern.
Yeah. You can change Bob's minions if you're looking for something specific. Yeah,
Malagos as well as your own. Most people only think like originally they like didn't realize you could do your own. They just thought you could do Bob's.
Yeah,
you can do your own and Bob's, but
sometimes
if you hit
like
nuts.
Sometimes you get like overstated minions that like are better to just have on the board than to play because of negative battle cries. Like pretty much just the 2/4. But
like if you just hit good minions, like other than the token, you just don't ever want to use the hero power. Like Malagos his hero power is only good on 1 if you hit a token, and on 5 gold if you like hit a pogo and want to make it a viable 2-drop.
Sure.
And you can purchase 2 by selling your 1-drop that you didn't hit a token on.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's good that the first like 4 turns out you can make your 1-drop slightly better. You can make one of your 2-drops on turn 5, turn 3 5 money slightly better, and then it just is useless.
And I mean, if you're looking for a specific
the entire game,
if you're looking for a specific minion, like if I'm going into a Malagos game and I've got double Gold Grubber on my board and I'm looking for my triple, then I can use my hero power on the 4-drop, and if I don't hit it, I can roll past it. You know what I mean? So
yeah, you don't have to commit to buying something and then, but on the same thing is if you have like a 4-drop buff, 5-drop like buff card, you Hook Tusk it, get a 4-drop buff card, or hit your triple. It's like
yeah, I mean it's about the same, right?
You get to have a whole nother battle cry.
Well, yeah, the battle cry is better for sure.
Like imagine you buy a Vermin Sensei and a Malagos, you change it into like the 5/6 dragon that cannons overkill. Imagine that scenario versus instead you kill the 4/5.
Oh wait, you're talking about okay.
On Malagos, you would change the 4/5 into like a different 4-drop.
Yeah.
You change it into that dragon that cannons. Versus you change the 4/5, you destroy it, and you then hit the mech buff +2/+2 and buff your mech when like a menagerie build. That's like way better.
Yeah, for sure. But
that's still just sell, get your gold, move on, buy another battle cry minion. It's like it's a free minion every turn.
And that's why it's tier 1, right? You know.
Yeah, I mean this character was dead nuts with Soralisk in the game, which we'll get to. Without being a 1-drop, you would just get 2 Death Rattle minions for the price of 1 every turn, or get a Death Rattle minion and then find a Soralisk that you still haven't found yet, and then get 9 of them, and then have 3 minions, a 30/30, a 40/40, and a 50/50 on like 13 money turn.
Yeah.
The third 10 money turn, it's like it was crazy. But yeah, I mean Hyena is just I don't know, it's not very good. Good change. It'll help you triple it more.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. You can't triple it. Nobody else is buying them. Every time I have 2 of them, it's like clutting my board. It's making it a little awkward. It's like, where's the triple? Nobody else has this card.
Right. It's just
hopefully you have that problem.
Just runs away. It just runs away from you.
Yeah, it's just like, dude, get back here and scavenge on my beasts. The man himself, the man of the hour.
All right. We like these with our people's champs. Now it's a little less clean to do it that way.
We like these with Death Rattle minions at 1.
Yeah.
Without leveling. This card died, and with it, Arana died. Any chance Arana would ever be good died with this card.
I don't even remember what Arana does. I literally haven't played Battlegrounds.
If you roll 7 times, you, for the rest of the game, see 7 minions in Bob's Tavern. So if you stay at 1 and keep rolling and buying Soreless and buying Death Rattle minions, eventually you'll just always hit all the time because you're seeing 7 minions every roll.
But Jordan, you could get like a board full of golden hyenas.
Big brain, dude.
Yeah, man. I mean, I like the idea of
brain.
if I get a Rana, I'm gonna get to 2, and I'm gonna do probably a Death Rattle build anyways with spawns and Soralisks and People's Champs.
Just search for lots of golden 2-drops.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean,
Probably fine.
Yeah.
Because you level on 4 money anyway, and then you just start. Either roll twice buy, and then buy, roll, buy, or roll, buy. I mean, it could work.
Dope. Yeah. So
this just changes the game a lot. This is the most impactful change here.
Yeah.
It's hardest to notice, but if you play at the high level and like Soreless, I kind of sad it's gone because it's like a unique thing where you don't just like level up and buy better minions. You'd like stayed on 1 and just like did this thing, but it was too good, and I don't know how else you really change it. I mean, if you make it a 0-1, it's still good. Like it doesn't matter.
But you lose a lot more life if it's a 0-1 for sure. But yeah, I see where you're coming from.
You might lose 1 more fight. It's like you take 4 damage. I mean, this card was the nuts.
It just trades. It just trades it too efficiently into every other 1-drop.
Many cards.
Yeah. I mean, like
on 1 was not the problem.
Sure.
Yeah.
It
dies to so many things. It was just way too good to get 9 of these.
Yeah.
And the golden selfless hero and ghoul later in the game once you've leveled, and then you just beat everything.
Yeah.
You beat golden Murloc. You beat Murlocs with that because you kill their divine shields and then you get your own. And if you have a parrot, it gets real gross because it's like the parrot goes and then gives divine shields to the things, and then they attack, or you attack the things, and then the selfless still hasn't died, so it attacks, and then you get. And if the parrot that then attacks gets the divine shield on it, so it doesn't die, it gets to attack again, and it can just gross things can happen with big Sorlisks and divine shields.
Yeah.
It was like its own comp. I mean, most people probably didn't realize it was so good. I doubt at low level I'd ever run into a Sorlisk. But it was very good at high level games with certain heroes. And it just really didn't need to be.
Yeah. And the marginal buff to the stat line is like non-essential in any way. Like I think they could have left it at a 3-1 in tier 2 and people still would have gone.
It would feel a little bit less bad to just like buy and like that and like a spawn in this off and 6 money and just run with it.
Yeah.
Just a base 4-3 that you don't plan on keeping for really. It's fine. But yeah, I mean it's a big deal. But most games, most play styles, you really do never see this card. It was just in those situations.
Yeah.
Just to appease the high level players. Good change.
All right. Now we got Monstrous Macaw. We
broken card.
We definitely called that this was going to get nerfed.
Everybody did though, probably.
Yeah, probably.
This card is still the nuts. Beast comp late game with like golden minions is still like kind of the nuts.
Yeah. I mean, I lost.
You get to like 80 to 100 on your like cave hydras with like golden macaw, golden baron, and golden goldrin.
Yeah, I lost.
There was a video, I think it was Crip, where he played George and hit those 3 minions. Oh. And so he hero powered his golden goldrin, and his 2 golden macaws just kept buffing all of his beasts. He had 2 golden macaws, 2 cave hydras, a golden goldrin, a golden baron, and then like a taunted divine shield Myexna was his board.
Disgusting.
And so he just hero powered like, I don't know if it was the macaw, the 8/8, and it was just like quadruple dipped on a triple buffed golden. Like there was one point in the game where he was doing so well, he just sold a 4/16 golden Myexna that was taunted and he had divine shielded. He was just like, I'll just get rid of that. I'm like, wait, what? What did he just do?
Yikes.
He just won the game. It ended up working out. He just got another macaw. He put a non-golden 7th macaw technically in. I'm like, wow, all right, well, this game's the filthy nuts, but yeah.
Oh, for sure.
This change is a big deal because now you can't like buy spawn in this on turn like 6 money, and then just never sell them those 2 minions until like really late when you sell the spawn and buy more macaws. Now you have to like kind of wait a little bit longer. You can still go like the nuts still like 6 money spawn 7 money hero power or something. Next turn's some macaws, right? But that's not really going to happen very often. And now it's like, if you want to go the beast strat, or like, I'm sure there's a bomb strat or something with this. You have to like, it's harder to find, and it comes a little bit later.
Yeah.
It's still absolutely good, and it's absolutely correct to buy if you're going beasts, and can get rid of your beast of death rattles to only hit the Goldrin. Yeah, another part about the video is he had like a beast with another death rattle in for like 5 fights in a row with 2 macaws. He's like, I'll risk it. I mean, I got 2 tries to hit the Goldrin, and I don't think he ever hit the other one. It was pretty funny. It was quite the luck game. It was crazy. Yeah, I mean, this is probably the second most impactful change.
Yeah.
I mean, practice was a big deal in terms of changing like how well a hero is, but this will pack the gameplay for all the heroes,
right?
Not just the one. So it's a little bit harder to find. Should be definitely harder to triple now that it's a 3-drop.
Oh yeah,
kind of the same as the hyena. Harder to triple instead of easier. A little bit later. And they're trying to nerf the card without killing it, and I think they did okay with that.
Yeah, time will tell.
Still cards you want with the right build.
Yeah. All right, next one. We are on to constructed.
Ooh.
So
when changes are done, they've decided to change constructed.
So this one kind of came out of nowhere, if I'm honest, for me.
For you, okay.
Yeah, this
I mean,
this
I'm
class.
not surprised in the slightest. This card got changed.
This
Every
card
good zero
really
mana card gets changed.
Fair.
Every single one.
This card like didn't feel oppressive to me. Maybe that's just me.
Wild, there's not really a great way to use it.
I strongly believe that this is a major buff to both odd and not odd Demon Hunter.
It is a buff to Wild Demon Hunter for sure.
Yeah.
For people who don't know, they changed Twin Slice from 0 mana, give your hero 1 attack, to 1 mana, give your hero 2 attack. So they kind of increased by 2 mana, because both the first twin spell and the second spell added a mana.
Yeah.
But you're also getting an extra attack. So for 4 mana, 2 mana, you're dealing 4. Or adding 4 attack to your hero, which is pretty solid. And it still allows the flexibility of only using 1 with like a Blade-bound adapt on 5. That's obviously not something you do in Wild, because you can just hero power, because the hero power is the same thing.
Yeah.
But in Standard, it can still allow that. It's just a turn later, and I think the card's still good. It's a weird change, but like at the end of the day, 0 mana cards that are good are oppressive and like kind of hard to design around because they're easily broken.
Yeah, I guess
this card has definitely mixed responses from people.
So I guess the reasons that this change is good, right? If you're gonna outline it, is first of all, they could never print any good expensive Demon Hunter spells as long as Twin Slice and Kel'Thas existed in the game at the same time.
Yeah, Kel'Thas got nerfed, and then now this has to get nerfed.
Yeah, and
all for Kel'Thas.
And secondly,
OTK deck.
Yeah, and secondly, with Twin Slice, like with Glaive Bound Adept, now it slows down that interaction, so you can't Glaive Bound on a 5 with the Battle Cry. So that's probably a good change, all things considered.
Yeah, I mean that's a change on Standard for sure. And
yeah,
I guess Wild when that was a necessary thing, but they never really. I never played against the deck, to be honest, that ran Twin Slice in Wild.
Yeah,
everyone just net decked the same odd Demon Hunter build.
Yeah. So my thing with this is so good in Odd Demon Hunter, like it instantly makes the cut in every deck, in my opinion. Because like
it does seem to.
For 1 card in your deck and your hero power. No, well I mean, and so like this takes up 1 card slot in your hand, right? You play this, you play the second slice, and you hero power for 3 mana. You get a 3 mana fireball for 1 card, and a hero power. It's just nuts. Like, I don't even know how. Like, that just feels like a lot of face damage to be giving Demon Hunter. Yeah. You know what I mean?
So it's
because
it's in.
This is already
specifically odd Wild Demon Hunter. This card's very good.
Yeah, this already
it's not the best
is a
card.
class.
It's not top 5, but it's definitely top 10.
Yeah,
and cards top 10 are good cards you want in your deck. It's not something you want after mulligan, which makes sense why its mulligan win rate's like middle, slightly below middle of the pack,
Mm,
and why the cap percentage is also middle of the pack because you don't want to keep a card that's not something you want in your mulligan very often. You want the one
right.
drops you can play, but in terms of drawn win rate, it's quite high, and played win rate it's third.
Yeah. Because you probably play it
Which
for lethal a
it's a
lot.
card you often burst your opponent down instead of for lethal and stuff.
Yeah.
And it allows you to probably kill a minion or two that you would normally have trouble. There's probably situations where you have like, do they run the 3-mana weapon in this deck still? Some of them maybe.
Maybe.
But
Yeah,
either
it's
way, for
not
2
super
mana, you
popular.
can deal 4. You kill like your opponent's Hench Clan Thug or something. Their Glade-bound Adept or their whatever the heck another class runs.
Yeah.
That's like pretty for 1 mana plus hero power. I mean, it's really good whether you're hitting your opponent in the face or you're hitting their minions. With War Glaives of Azzinoth, you kill a minion and hit them in the face, double dip. It's very good. In standard, it's a little trickier.
Yeah.
Depends on who you ask if they like the change or not. There's like part of the camp in standard thinks that Demon Hunter and Warrior, the best 2 decks and classes, aren't the problem, and they'd rather prefer that you make other decks and classes good.
I would like that.
They would prefer, that's the side of people who prefer that. They feel like some of their decks don't feel like they have 30 cards and you want to play, which then leads to games where you draw cards that you're like, why is this in my deck? Oh, because there's nothing else to play.
Yeah.
And then you have like an incomplete deck, you have an incomplete gaming experience. Just doesn't feel all that great. So those people want all the decks to be good.
Is there
And
not
there's other
enough?
people who think
Is there
there are
not?
some standard decks. There's like 2 good standard decks right now.
Is
The
there
rest are
not
like
enough
average.
of a strong neutral package in standard now that you can't just throw it in every? Because like in wild,
No.
if you ever feel like you're running low on cards that are good,
Oh, wild. There's
you
never
just
a
throw
lot
it
of
you just
cards.
throw in the pirate package and you throw in
Some really
Ziliax
good.
and like you're just like there, and like the
No,
pirate.
that is not. That is standard has very different strategies for all the decks that rely generally on class cards only.
Oh yeah,
Good standard card, neutral cards that go with it. There's not just a Kalis that you can put in your deck anymore.
sure.
Those kind of cards. I mean, the Galacrons, right? But those are you have to run
Class
cards that
specific,
revolve
yeah.
around your class specific Galacron. And
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, the best 2 decks were Demon Hunter and Warrior. So half the people think those 2 are not the problem. The other decks aren't as good as they need to be. And then the other people say those 2 are too good, so the other decks can't see play because these 2 are too good. So it's just whether you want the overall power level to be higher or lower.
See, and that
As a wild
scares
player, I'm
me.
sure you agree that you want it to be higher.
So I
I kind of like lower.
I personally would love to see higher in the decks that I want to play, but I know that's not gonna be the only
Only
thing.
in the decks I want to play.
Yeah, like, I don't want to see Big Shaman getting better. That's already toxic to play against. But so like, I think if they're buffing cards for standard, I think the power level in Wild gets too high too fast because then they do it, and if they do it this expansion, then they feel obligated to do it next expansion. And all of a sudden, every expansion is just getting more and more power crept.
Well, for a while, it's always just going to get more power.
Well, yeah, but
forever.
Yeah, but we've
So
got
you nerf wild. So you'd rather them nerf wild cards than. I mean, so I guess the ideal is you want them to buff standard cards, so all the standard decks are fairly powerful, but then nerf wild cards so that wild doesn't just keep going up.
I don't hate that idea if I'm honest.
Because you could theoretically do both.
Yeah, I don't hate that
But
idea.
the problem you might be
want
having right now is they've been nerfing standard cards to make standard better, but then they also were like, dude, let's bring back Yogg and Raza, dude. Let's just buff these wild only cards again.
yeah
That'll be a great idea.
yeah. I'm just waiting for them to be like, oh
I'm waiting
yeah,
for the day that patches gets.
yeah. I was
charged.
about to say that. I was
Yeah,
like,
he's
they're gonna
get charged.
they're gonna give him rush. They're gonna give him
He's
rush.
gonna get something.
They're gonna give him rush.
He's gonna get buffed. That poor guy.
Yeah. Yeah, patch isn't good enough. It's
You
only
guys- oh, they won't do it. They
it's
probably
it's
would.
only in the best deck in the game right now. It's fine.
I don't think patches had is fun or unique enough that they'll buff it again. But
No.
it's like
No
You
one
can't live in
really
a
misses
world where they-
patches.
just buff. What?
No one really misses charge patches except for the
No.
toxic aggro players. But like,
Yeah, and some of them think that it's like would be better
I mean, Pirate Warrior.
answer to some of the combos.
I
necessary, but-
am a strong believer that Pirate Warrior is the best deck in Wild right now. So
Mhm.
I don't think patches needs a buff anytime soon.
I don't even think like maybe I shouldn't say that. I feel like Pirate Warrior and Wild would be good if patches didn't even exist. Like, it's just a 1-1.
Oh, absolutely.
Best
Like,
case is if it gets shot. Like, I don't even think patches. There's a world where another good card gets printed for that deck, and you just cut patches. I think.
oh,
Or maybe not.
absolutely. Especially
Or maybe he's nuts.
if it's just a 1/1 that gets pulled from your deck, you don't care after a certain amount of point. Like it's gonna get power corrupt for sure. If they give it charge back, then it's a free 1 damage to the face on turn 1. But like, I don't know.
I wonder. I mean, maybe I'm just stupid. Maybe patches is like the 4th best card in the game.
I
have no idea.
I mean, you throw it in there
It's a hard
because
card to evaluate.
yeah, you throw it in there because it's just
It
so
does
good
look
to get
like,
the extra body against other aggro decks. But like,
hey, can you believe it? His Mulligan Run Rate's the lowest in the deck.
okay.
Wow, 0% cap percentage. Oh, you Wild players are smart. You got big brains over there. You're not keeping patches when you have it in your Mulligan.
Wow.
Drawn win rate, also the lowest.
Yeah.
Played win rate, wow, also second to the lowest. These are really hard things to look at because none of these are.
Yeah, none of those stats matter.
No.
Yeah.
I want the card saw play win rate. It's just like, well, that's the deck's win rate.
Yeah.
So the only way to compare it and see if it's actually good is to play a deck without it.
Yeah.
Kind of, right? I mean, it's none of these stats make any sense.
Hard card to evaluate.
The only card worse than the played win rate or whatever was the other version of patches, the parachute.
Brigade. Oh, the brigand. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
yeah.
You also don't really want to play that one.
I find myself playing it every once in a while to buff my Ankar. Like if I have that and my Bloodsail Cultist in my hand and I have no other option, I'll do that on 5.
Oh sure, I mean,
but it just feels bad, you know. You're like, damn it, do I really have to do this to keep my Ankar alive? Yeah. All right, well, we're creeping up on 40 minutes. We got through all of the balance changes. Do you want to talk about... What do you want to talk about for the last couple minutes?
Let's look at... I don't know, the last time we talked about it, or had this podcast, we talked about the Battlegrounds changes where they brought pirates in and new heroes.
Mm-hmm.
You can look at how the standings were changed. I think it's actually quite interesting. This caught me off guard today when I looked at this. Much surprise to nobody, Captain Hooktusk is alone in Tier 1 with a 3.56.
Wow.
Which is right around the Tyrion and Millhouse of old.
Yep, it's due for a nerf soon.
I've gotten 2 first places on her, and I've played her twice.
Yeah.
Wildly different strategies. You just get a free minion every turn. It's absurd.
You can play any strategy with her and win. It's easy.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Sorlisk was the best, but other ones are still very good. The second best hero in the game is another new one, which I did not see coming. It's Captain Eudora.
I told you that.
Golden minion.
I told you that card was going to be
I did not see this character becoming the second best.
You just get
3.96 average placement.
You just get to ramp super fast with like because you get a free triple that you get to play. So like
it becomes
you just get like random like 4 drops and 5 drops early in the game, which is fine.
You do the level up to 2 on 6 instead, where you go level up by hero power, and then.
And you keep the golden minion around for a couple turns.
Big spike with the golden minion. Well, because the turn you get the golden minion is because you do on 6 money you do buy on a minion, level up to 2 hero power, and then on 7 money you can hero power for 6 to tier 3, and then hero power and get your golden minion.
Yeah, so you get a 4 drop on 7 money, which is insane.
Ideally a 3 drop. I thought it was guaranteed to be your tavern tier.
I don't think it is. So you get.
I had one where I was tier 5 and I did it, and I got a golden the demon that buffs the attacks of things. So that's very sad.
Yeah. So basically, I mean, like
early game.
Still, you get
solid.
You get any golden
minion 3 and down at that point in the game is very solid. Plus a 4 drop. Yes.
Yes.
And it helps you just save a lot of life, and you can do your late game stuff. So.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just hit your late game stuff, and you get a golden Hunger Dragon or something. I think a golden gold grubber is
I love that card.
That'd be amazing.
Golden. I got it the first time I played Eudora. I got a golden gold grubber. I got it naturally.
Nice.
So I was just like, at the end of the game, I had 5 or 6 golden
when
minions.
I played Eudora last, I bought a normal gold grubber because I had 2 or 3 golden minions.
Oh, absolutely.
And I was like, yeah, I'll ride this out a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know what I got. I'm selling
My
top four.
my gold grubber ended up being like I think I was at like a
Large.
128 when I won or something like that. It was
Nice.
nuts.
The change we talked about today, Draxus, he went up from a 5.98. He was the worst when sorted by top 50% MMR range. He was the worst hero
Hmm.
at the bottom at like 5.8 something, 5.9.
Sure.
He is now sitting at 4.25, which is good for
Sizable difference.
sixth, right behind Rafam.
Yeah, if anytime that you're right behind Rafam, you're doing all
Anytime
right.
you can see your name on the same screen as Rafam, you're a pretty good hero.
Yeah,
Especially when you used to see the name only by Galakron.
yeah.
That guy needs to be changed to 0 mana. Or
Poor,
like,
poor Galakrond.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what Galakron has to do.
Well, so people have so much PTSD from playing Galakrond in Standard that they had to make Galakrond absolute garbage tier in Battlegrounds.
I guess, dude. I don't know.
People don't want to see Galakrond in their fun game mode.
Another change we talked about. Did we talk about this? Was it in the past?
Which
I
one?
think it was, and you just didn't have a picture for it. But they changed to Maiev so
Oh,
that now,
yeah, there wasn't a picture for it. We didn't really talk about
but
it.
now they changed Maiev, so it's the same hero power, but it doesn't take a board slot anymore. So when you roll, you still see the same amount of minions.
Hmm.
So it's still make a minion and Bob stay ever dormant after 2 turns, get it. But instead of clogging up that spot, there was some reason it was really bad. I kind of forget what it was. It was like you literally could not, like if you hero powered and then like hero powered again, and so like you don't level, you buy and then buy hero power. There's not enough minions. You then hero power again on 5 and buy. There's just not enough. Like you literally can't buy enough minions on that turn or something. Or the turn after, I don't really remember what it was, but it was like literally there weren't options. You could not buy a minion because the dormant took the spot up.
Yikes.
So that character went from tier 4 pretty bad to now in like 10th or something after Edwin.
Yeah, I guess
Or
I haven't
4.36.
played enough.
I haven't played Maiev because I played her like
Yeah.
once and she sucked. I never touched her again.
Yep, that was me.
The
Exactly.
change we did talk about, Maleficent sits in right behind Maiev with a 4.37. She was always okay.
Yeah.
Because you got stats, but she was like tier 4. She was chilling with like the Shutterwalks of the world.
I love Shutterwalk.
Do you remember Nefarian? That's a hero in Battlegrounds. Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
Nefarian is in this game.
Wow.
Crazy. Fungal Man. Oh wait, I'm in the wrong tier. I was like, that's
I was like, what?
Fungal Lancer Flurry. No, tier 3. Sir Finley's kind of fallen, which is very surprising.
Yeah, I
I
feel
guess
like
she hasn't fallen. Other things have just passed it. Sir Finley's still after Pyramid 4.4. I would imagine that one just keeps getting better because there's better options now.
yeah.
You also just get a better option a lot of times, so you don't need to pick Finley.
Yeah. On average, your hero power is going to be better than like the middle of
the
the
options
You're right.
that you would choose him over. Yeah, I mean he's pretty solid. He's a very average hero. His placements are all pretty average.
Yeah.
Millhouse falls after that, and then we have another new guy, Patches, is tier 2, sneaks in at the bottom.
Hmm.
Average is 4.5.
That seems higher than I would have given him like middle of tier 3.
I'm sure there's a decent way to do him. I mean, you get a free pirate. You kind of have to force pirates, which is why you won't ever be that good. But I mean, you get free minions. It can be all right. Right after him, top of tier 3 is Sky Captain Craig. What a guy. I still haven't played him, actually. That kind of sounds fun to, like, bank all that gold. I'm sure it's terrible, though.
It's terrible. I don't like it.
I mean, games where you don't hit good minions the first 4 turns, you're just never, like, alive.
Oh, for sure.
You're just never doing anything with that hero.
Yeah.
And you have the normal tier 3s. I'm surprised Toki's as bad as she is. That hero used to be busted with that hero power.
Yeah.
I wonder when Patrick's going to get reverted back to 60 and jump back up to the top of tier 2. Or, like, tier 1.
I'm waiting for them to
Back up
remove
the mix.
Patrick from the game.
Yeah, you still hate Patrick.
I mean, I don't hate playing him. You just play whatever comp you want.
He doesn't have a very unique...
right, like
he doesn't have a very interesting
it's just
game to play.
you're just playing Battlegrounds,
Actually,
and
I'm
you
curious.
literally just don't look at your hero portrait the entire game. You're just like, oh,
Okay, so they have pick rate on here. Like, when offered, they like people that will pick it.
sure.
The top is pretty much what you'd expect. It's Hooktusk, Rafam, Eudora, Nasdormo, Kel'Thas, Finley.
Yeah.
Rana, because she's new. Yogg, Patches. If you go to the bottom, the least picked is Queen Wagtoggle. The
Yep.
second least picked is Nefarian, and the third least picked. People just don't think he's fun or good.
Patchwork.
They're not playing him.
Yeah.
But he is better than the other, like, than Lich Girl is 4th, and Patrick is the best of those 4. But he's just not very fun, so
Yeah.
people don't care.
Yep. Yeah, I think they'll end up either reworking him dramatically or removing him because they've taken
At some
to
point, yeah. I mean,
they've taken to getting rid of the heroes that don't see play. Like Putricide was a hero that really didn't see any play, and they removed it this last patch. So
they realize this. I mean, even with 1 gold, this hero power still sucks or whatever, or
yeah,
targeted, or
yeah,
just bad.
yep.
I don't know what else is new. Kai Crag, we just talked about. Malagos at the bottom of tier 3. The new Reno, still the top of tier 4. I don't know. Save a gold once a game, maybe, if you hit the minion.
Yeah.
Arana, Starseeker, after your first 7-time Bob, always to 7 minions. It's currently the second worst. I think it will probably go up a little bit. It's just people like doing weird things with the character, trying to figure out how she's good.
Yeah. I think
Uh,
once people learn how to play her, and once all the bad players stop
it's
picking
one of
her,
those things like Arana,
yeah,
Lady Vosh, and like Fungalmancer Flurky are all kind of like ones that the average player will never be good at, but like once like a really good player figures out what to do with one, they'll like it'll become one of their better heroes. I feel like Arana's one of those. Like
yeah,
there are players who have like 1300 MMR, 1400 MMR who pick Fungalmancer Flurky over everything and think he's the best hero in the game because they like really know how to play the character. There's like a way where you like stay at 1 and collect only the token Murlocs. You just spam token Murlocs. You
yeah,
then power level and just start selling all your token Murlocs.
yeah.
It's like so you level up slightly slower, but you like save some life by just spamming all these Murlocs on the board.
That sounds
I don't really
spicy.
fully get it, but like I mean, the character's got like I think one of the highest first place as well as the highest 8th places. So if you're good enough, you know how to like
It's
not
just
get 8th.
it's just
You'll
such a
get first one.
polarized. It's a polarized character. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, you gotta hit, you gotta be good at them. I don't know how the like changes to having
I mean,
only a certain set of things in the class, right? Like only having a
I
pool
mean,
of.
when
I don't know how
Murlocs
that
are
affected the character.
when Murlocs are out, he won't show up.
Right. But I
But
don't know if it's like he's nuts now that you don't have like early game mechs or early game demons hitting you in some games. I don't know.
yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I mean that's about it for the battlegrounds changes.
All right,
We're
so
hitting our time here, so
we
I think
are.
that's
All right.
that'll be it.
So if they want to find you on the social medias, where can they find you?
On Twitter at JordanMGS.
All right. And you can find me on Twitch at Vapod1. You can also find me on YouTube at that same handle. Vapod, by the way, is VAAPAD. And you can find me at Twitter at Vapod1_HS. So that brings us to the end of our podcast, Jordan. So, like always, what do we do if we see one of those there people champs?
Buy it.
We do buy it.
We get first place.
We do get first place because it's just the nuts.
The bomb.
The bombs go pew pew. All right,
Pew.
all right, guys. Have a good one.
Pew pew good. Peace.